football, now trying to run some clock. Leopards with 3 timeouts remaining, 2:55 left to go, but they've got to come up with some stops here.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Geisting, you got to get a first down. You have to find a way to get a first down to burn some clock and force Louisville to call timeouts. If you don't get a first down right here, you're going to give Louisville a chance to score, and they're hot right now. They got a hot quarterback. Important to get that first down.
Motion, Bruner. Daniel Rod, handoff. Story, 40, 45, 50, nobody in front of him. 40, 30, 20. He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Elijah Story. Hasn't done much all night. Hasn't broken the big one. He's been close, but he might have just thrown the dagger deep on that 67-yard touchdown run.
Been quiet all night long, but he carried this team to get here in the last 4 out of 5 games, 200 yards rushing, and talk about time to break a big play when they needed it. That ball game.
It was a tough couple months trying to deal with the transition of Coach Soriano being gone, but luckily we hired Jeff Geisting, who I've known my entire life because he'd been on the staff up to the point when I started to be a ball boy. So if there was anybody that could have been hired in that situation to keep the train rolling and there to not be any transition period or any fall off from where the program had been, it was him. And I think that kind of got us excited as players, knowing that what we have been doing wasn't going to change because the guy that was taken over in a position where he had already seen what we had built up to that point. And I think he just took it over and didn't change anything, but just kind of added his own spin on things a little bit. And at the end of the day, I think that was the most beneficial thing that could happen for us.
Soriano played a big part. I mean, in my career personally, I wanted to quit football. My sophomore year, I was really good at basketball, and I wanted to focus on that. Soriano pulled me to his office and he talked to me and he's like, man, you're gonna have a great future here. We're gonna do big things, with the football team. And he believed in me, so I believed in his words, and I came back and played. And obviously you see the results of what we did. It wasn't because of me specifically, but just him having that belief. He believed in every player like that. So I feel like he played a big role in everybody's success and our thought processes. Like Rod and Runk and those guys, they were water boys from like young kids growing up. So it's always just been in our culture, to be around the Redskin tradition, Transitioning when he left, it was kind of a shocker at first, but I think people were extremely excited. Obviously, having familiar faces like Geisting and Zabo. I mean, clearly coaching staff just kind of transitioned. Everybody just switched roles more or less. And I think we've obviously responded very well. And again, kind of wrote off Soriano's belief in us. We just took it to the next level.
Honestly, it meant a lot to all of us to be a part of the program before we got to the high school level, because I know we were a very select few. There really weren't that many guys that had the opportunity to do what we did. And I think we all understood that. And it was really cool to see what was going on in the high school program at such a young age, because I think it really taught us a lot of things that carried over to when we played. And it was awesome just being around high school football players at the time, because I know they gave me a lot of crap for being Little Rod. Apparently, everybody called me that, being the youngest of the Rods. But being able to be on the sidelines when my brother was playing was really cool, because it was a great experience for him and I, an emotional experience being brothers and being able to see him succeed and fail on the football field. It was really cool to be there up close. And I was really close with a lot of the coaches already just because of my brother and my parents and my other siblings. And being able to see how the coaches did things and see how the players reacted to that at a young age. I don't think I realized at the time how important that was for me to become a good football player or even a good athlete in general, but I think that had a lot to do with it. It was definitely a pride factor. Being able to put on Anderson football and wear that on the sidelines Friday night and represent the program at a young age was a dream come true for all of us, because if you lived in Anderson Township and you were going to Anderson and you were an athlete, you were going to play Anderson football. And that was just the end-all, be-all. And it was a great experience to be a part of that from a young age.
2007 was a unique season at Anderson High School. After competing in Division I, Ohio's largest division under the Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, Anderson's attendance numbers dropped, and they kicked off the 2007 season in Division II. That year, the Cincinnati Enquirer picked the Redskins to finish at a meager 5-5 record. Many of the players, coaches, and fans felt it was their duty to prove the doubters wrong.
Hi everybody, I'm Greg Ellis along with Dan Alberts. We want to thank you for joining us for the fourth game of 2007 football season. And tonight, the Redskins play host to a very good opponent, Hilliard Darby from the Columbus area. Both teams come in at 3-0, and Dan, another Division I team to play against.
And not only that, they beat Hilliard Davidson, who is the state champs from last year. So, and they're also rated 6th right now in the AP poll. So it's going to be a very, very big game. They got a great quarterback, and they also got I believe he's linebacker, I believe, that one is going to Georgia Tech, one's going to Northwestern. So this ought to be a great, great game.
Of course, last year the Redskins
when we got to the Anderson game, we knew that Anderson was good. We knew they had a good football team. I knew in the past they'd been well coached just by Coach Soriano, just kind of he had that reputation. So since I was primarily defensive guy, I was on the defensive side of the ball, so I saw what the offense was doing. The quarterback was really good. He was a good high school athlete, seemed to hide the ball really well, carry out his fakes really well, and he did what they needed him to do in order to be successful. I remember the tailback was, I believe he was Sean Alexander's cousin, tailback for the Seahawks and Alabama. We knew that they were good. We didn't know how good we were, and we didn't necessarily know how good they were. But we knew that we had a chance to win, but they also had a chance to beat us. So we knew that it was going to be a good battle going in.
We knew we had a tough, strong, speedy little team that could really play with anybody if we put our head to it. But going back and getting into that game, we were, like you said, 3-0 going into it, but we hadn't really played anybody of that caliber. So we knew going into that game that Darby was, top 5 in the state in D1, and we were, just dropped down to D2. We didn't have the enrollment size. They had some big dudes, a big running back, big offensive line, big defensive line. The quarterback was going to Northwestern. We were in for a real tough game. We knew that was going to be our first real challenge of that season.
In comes Hilliard Darby, who, was a top-ranked team in the state. And we had actually gone up to Columbus and played them the year before. And I remember playing in that game as a sophomore, and that was a pretty highly billed game, and playing up in Columbus, they had a great atmosphere, and getting to get on a coach bus, it really felt like some sort of a big time football event when we went up there and played them. And so I think we'd already familiarized ourselves with that team a little bit, and so when they came down and played us in Anderson that year, we had seen them. I don't think we were intimidated by them because we had played them in a close game the year before, and even though they had some big-time players, we knew what they were about, and I feel like we thought we had a chance to beat them. We had been picked to be 5-5 that year, and then all of a sudden you get off to a fast start and win 3 games, and the season takes on a little bit different of a feeling. And then, like you said, we go out and, they thumped us pretty good right off the bat. The way that we were able to kind of hang together, I think we just had no expectations for what that season was, right? And so, there wasn't this sense of, oh, here we go, or, like a big sense of letdown. It was really like, let's just keep playing. We're trying to figure out who we are, and they're a talented team. And to your point, we just kind of kept chipping away and then were able to make a pretty good comeback. I feel like we went into the locker room after that game thinking, hey, we've got a pretty good team here.
And we're down to 4:28 here in this ball game. Anderson, as they said, we're trailing 31-23. Trying to tie this ball game up with scoring and then going for the 2-point conversion.
I'll tell you what, dude, if we do score here, I say you throw it up to the Truesdale, go get it again.
That could be a good opportunity.
Him or Ruck. They give it to Truesdale, who's got a Heston. Truesdale, go for the touchdown.
Good call by Coach Cook.
Truesdale takes it in on the run, and with 4:03 to play, the Redskins trail by 2 points.
Unbelievable turnaround, Greg.
And now the unearned two-point conversion attempt.
Third TD of the quarter for unbelievable.
So this should be an interesting call, Dan. Redskins trail by 2. They're still alive. Football at 4:03.
Yeah, but they're going to have to hurry up here.
And they've got Truesdale lined up on the far right side here. Ruck in the slot. It's Ruck in motion. And Rod's going to put it up. He's looking for Truesdale in the corner of the end zone. Rod's going to run. He's going to take it in for a two-point conversion.
He did it!
Yes! Daniel Rod takes it in. Boy, he somersaulted into the end zone, and with 4:03 to play, we're tied up at 31 apiece.
Unbelievable turnaround. Greg, I tell you what that is? It's like Steve said, it's all heart, man. It's all that is. They did not give up when they were down 31-9, and a lot of people, and it was kind of quiet in here, and they just kept sticking to the game plan and did what they wanted to do, and they tied this game up at 30. Out. They're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for 2 here. This is the game right here.
They got 2 receivers to the left, and they're going to go for this victory.
And even the right left, he's got Patrick.
And he caught it in the game.
Oh my gosh, he caught in the end zone, and Harry Darby wins. What a down for the Redskins is on a 2-point conversion. Harry Darby looks like they just won the state.
And he did a shuffle pass, and they score.
Well, that's a big win for that program over Division II Anderson.
And they come out with a victory, and they win 39-38, but what a great game by the Anderson Redskins.
Those are pretty tough, back-to-back big, Division I opponents at the time, and playing at GCL school, and I was really excited about that, but we came out of that game pretty banged up, and a number of people, didn't end up playing in the LaSalle game, and I mean, they really put it on us pretty good. So it's tough, you get off to that fast start, you're 3-0, and then all of a sudden you lose 2 tough games, and the team's feeling a little beat up and a little bit down, and you're kind of at a crossroads in the middle of the season.
To better understand the history of the Anderson football program, you must look back to the year 1976, when Turpin High School opened its doors. Located less than 3.5 miles away, Turpin was founded to reduce the overcrowded conditions of Anderson High School at the time. Functioning as a one high school community for so long, the opening of Turpin High School would change Anderson Township forever.
It's a very unique rivalry. I was thinking about this actually last night. It's very different than, let's say, like a Duke, North Carolina, Ohio State, Michigan, because everybody goes to the same middle school. You live in the same community. You go to the same restaurants, same grocery store. So you're all you all know each other. I was thinking about the city of Cincinnati, and there's some really good rivalries for high school football, basketball, but you don't necessarily know the other people as well. And parents know each other. So for those that don't know, 7th and 8th grade, you go to Nagel Middle School. From there, you split up and go to Anderson, and you go to Turpin. So when you play as freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, you know the other guys you're playing. And that's, to me, what makes it so powerful and just such a great rivalry.
I tell you, there are those games, the Turpin-Anderson games in football and in basketball and baseball and soccer, volleyball, every sport. You always remembered those. When you woke up in the morning, there was a little bit different feel about the game. It wasn't just a game. There was a new meaning to it, something more that was special on those days. And then as we moved on, I moved away from Turpin-Anderson and saw it from a distance. And I saw some things change as Turpin and Anderson stopped playing each other. And that was an interesting scenario because you always have the banner going back and forth between the schools about who's better and this and that. And the one thing that we always had was the opportunity to prove who was better on the field. And Turpin won their fair share of games, and Anderson won their fair share of games, and it was always great battle. I can't remember the exact year, but they stopped playing each other. And when that happened, it kind of took on a different meaning because there was nothing that was solved on the field.
4th, 5th, 6th grade, you know, I was a water boy for the Turpin football team. So Friday nights, you know, I was on that sideline, kind of. I know I was at a younger age, but you were still kind of part of that experience because you had older brothers also playing at the time, and those thoughts as a child, you know, the 7th and 8th grade, 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade, was still in the back of my mind of Anderson always stomping Turpin. And I was always, you know, we didn't get to play Anderson, but if I ever got the chance, like, what was it going to be like, and what were my feelings going to be and emotions on the field? Like, was I going to be able to control them? Was I, you know, going to be out of control, in control? Like, you know, were all the memories of being on the sideline and just watching Anderson run the score up, you know, game after game, was that all going to come back to me? And, you know, as I moved along my senior year, we finally, you know, got that chance.
November the 9th, 2007, regional final, State Ohio Division II, Anderson Redskins versus Turpin Spartans.
I think for us, you know, we knew what it was about, like I keep saying. We prepared like it was any other game. We knew what was at stake. We knew it was Anderson Turpin. In terms of the community, though, I remember driving around the community that week, even the weekend before the game, and there's signs everywhere. What was really cool was up and down Beachmont, there were signs wishing, you know, both teams good luck. So from that standpoint, like, the community was all in. So there's a lot of buildup. And like you said, pregame, that's something I've never seen before, any level, college, pros, high school. I've been a part of Moeller X games as a football coach. Like, that is something I've never seen. You get out there for pregame an hour before kickoff and stands are packed. Like, it's completely filled. And that atmosphere you expected was even more than what was expected.
Anderson Township, Ohio, a Cincinnati suburb of about 40,000 residents, home of the academically acclaimed Forest Hills School District, home of 2 public high schools separated by less than 3 miles, the Anderson Redskins and the Turpin Spartans, both known for their academics and for their football. Both also known, at least on the football field, for their intense dislike of the other in a community divided by color, orange and maroon. For years, the 2 Cincinnati football powers would play each other regularly in Ohio's Division II. Then Anderson's enrollment jumped, and so too did the Redskins up to Division I. As Anderson and Turpin forged their powers in separate divisions, fans clamored for their schools to play each other. Then, in 2007, Anderson rejoined Division II play, and the 2 teams squared off on the biggest of stages, the regional finals of the Ohio State playoffs.
Good evening and welcome to Turpin.
Experts predicted the winner of this Turpin-Anderson game would go on to win the 2007 state title, and they were right. What the experts didn't know was how this one game would elevate this competition from heated but friendly to heated and controversial. November 16th, 2007, the Spartans of Turpin were leading Anderson 23-17 with less than 30 seconds to play in the regional finals. Then, Anderson's running back was stopped.
He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Anderson had no timeouts. Turpin fans began the countdown of the final seconds.
15,
There was no way, they thought, any team could regroup so quickly and get off a play before time expired.
Penalty marker.
But then, Anderson's coaches ran onto the field.
Sideline. That stops the clock.
Under Ohio high school rule, that's a sideline infraction against Anderson. The penalty? A warning. The result? A stoppage of clock. Then, controversy again.
This is the game.
A pass across the middle appeared to end the game. But the officials called for a measurement, again stopping the clock.
The zeros were on the clock and we didn't win, and we knew our ultimate goal was to beat Anderson that game and then eventually go on to win state. That was instant shock. Like, I didn't know how to comprehend it. I didn't know how to believe it. I remember sitting there like, what just happened? Because, you know, it was a back and forth game, controversy of course, but it was tough to understand what just happened. And I remember getting home after the game and, you know, talking to people, talking to my mom, and they talked about kind of how the things went down at the end. And I sort of knew about some of it, but I didn't know about all of it. So, you know, it was shocking, quite frankly.
For Turpin, it was a season finished too soon. For Anderson, they were one win away from reaching the state finals for the first time in school history. After their regional final win, Anderson advanced to play Ashland High School in the Division II state semifinals. They would roll to a 35-20 victory and on to their first ever trip to the OHSAA Division II state finals.
We would have pep rallies outside of school. They would do Geestingville pep rallies, and they were outrageous. Kids would camp out, and they would have these huge bonfires, and it was just an atmosphere that you couldn't believe. You would think it was from a movie. And the school just was just buzzing with excitement. We'd sell t-shirts for playoff games, and Mike Cook and I worked together on offense hand in hand. We used to joke about how you'd walk down the halls and you could count how many kids weren't wearing Anderson football t-shirts because you couldn't count how many that were. It was an incredible atmosphere at the school. And so that season was just, it truly was a magical run. It was something else.
Anderson Township was abuzz as the Redskins were primed to play Louisville High School on November 30th, 2007 at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. From predictions on a 5-5 season, the Redskins had done the impossible and were one win away from the school's first ever state title.
Paul Brown Stadium in Massillon, Ohio. You see the Leopards from Louisville, and there's a look at the Redskins from Cincinnati Anderson, a pair of first-timers competing for the Division II state championship here tonight on Sports Time Ohio. We've had 2 live games in the book. This is number 3 in a monster matchup in Division II between 2 very evenly matched teams. Welcome to the broadcast.
Okay. But, we're where we wanted to be. We didn't talk about this at the beginning of the year. We just talked about who we're playing. Win the next one. Win the next one. We're going to win game 13 tonight. That's what we're doing. Win game 13. Okay? That's all we got to do. Okay? I'm very impressed with how focused you are. I think you're more than ready to play this football game. Okay? And like I told you after dinner, I think I have every confidence that we're going to play well and put on a good show tonight. I really do. Okay? It's our time. It's our time to shine. It's time to step up. It's time to show the state of Ohio what Anderson football is all about, guys. That's what it's for. Okay? Step up to the plate. Be the man. We talk about that all the time. When it's your turn to make a play, do you want it coming at you? Be the man. Make the block. Make the catch. Make the tackle. Don't back down. What have we said all year? Bring it on! Anything that happens, we don't care. We bring it on. We take it. We handle it. That's why we're here today. Because you guys just say, bring it on. And let's play. Yeah. Okay? You ready to go? Yes! Let's go. Right now, here we go. Everybody's up. We need everybody. Let's go. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go,
to let it rip. Get this Division II state championship game underway. Ryan Kuhn kick it off, squibs it on the ground, and Bornhauser picks it up straight ahead across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And that's where Anderson will start 1st and 10 tonight. Both coaches feel the weather will not be a factor tonight. And watching Daniel Robb throw before tonight's game, he's got a stick on him. He can let it rip. I don't think he's going to be bothered by anything. Elijah Story, Josh Jeffrey in the backfield. Off the left side, right off the bat. On the run and all the way out to the 50. And right off the bat, they rip for a 1st down. Nick Truzel comes up around, sweep, picks it up big, 1st down gain.
To play for a state championship, that's the dream. It's nothing that you grow up playing football and that's all you've ever dreamt about is playing for a high school state championship in the state of Ohio. There's not too many things bigger than that when you're a high school athlete. Everything and everybody, we were just focused on winning that game.
Receiver spread, 3rd and 11 from the 48. Rod back to pass. Rod going down over the middle. He's got Truesdale. 20, 15, 10, and he gets in for the touchdown. A 3rd and 11 from his own 48, and pay dirt for the Redskins.
Coach Fair talked about he was concerned about the size at receiver for Anderson. One-on-one matchup there. Daniel Rod makes a great throw, lays it in over the top, and Truesdale's one-on-one. It's not only a great throw, but a great read by Daniel Rod. Plenty of time. Ball is on the money.
Truesdale beat number 9, Brandon Matty, 52 yards on the touchdown reception. And Jeff Geising said they're going to take their shots tonight. 4 plays, 67 yards, and 1:54 seconds. And just like that, they're on the board. John Howard adding the extra point. It is up, and it is good. The Redskins on top.
With a 24-7 halftime lead, the Redskins were 24 minutes away from history. However, Louisville would not go down without a fight.
I'm not originally from Cincinnati, and so when I moved down here and I got the job at Anderson, right away it was different. It felt different. It felt like such a sense of pride and community, and people that go to school here and graduate from here have a real pride in their experience here. I think it stems from the fact that the teachers, the parents, administrators, everybody just cares so much about the success of our students that they leave here feeling good because they really believe that everyone wants the best for them. And so it's a people thing. It's not really the brick and mortar building at all. It's not the facilities. It's the people that make Anderson a special place.
Louisville marched down the field and converted on 4th and 10 from the Anderson 25-yard line. On a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, Louisville would score on a slant pass to cut the lead to 24-19 with 3 minutes left to play.
3rd touchdown of the night for Brandon Matty from Neil Seaman.
Anderson's the op. They're going to play the clock. They're going to play soft defensively. You're going to allow Louisville to score, but now you got to make the key stop. They've already called the 2-point play. They were ready to go. Coach Fair was prepared. Here we go.
Trying to draw them within 3. Seaman, quick out.
Gonna throw it.
Tyler, that was Swigert.
Kyle Nelson's the one that knocks it down, number 1. What presence of mind by Kyle Nelson. When they had it set up, all you got to do is put some air on that ball, and it's an easy conversion. Swigert's just trying to throw it. He's got him open.
What happened next will live on in Anderson Redskins football history.
No sense of risking any type of turnover. You got the football. Now try to run some clock. Leopards with 3 timeouts remaining. 2:55 left to go, but they've got to come up with some stops here.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Geisting, you got to get a first down. You have to find a way to get a first down to burn some clock and force Louisville to call timeouts. If you don't get a first down right here, you're going to give Louisville a chance to score, and they're hot right now. They got a hot quarterback. Important to get that first down.
Motion, Bruner. Daniel Rod, handoff. Story! 40, 45, 50, nobody in front of him. 40, 30, 20. He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Elijah Story. Hasn't done much all night. Hasn't broken the big one. He's been close, but he might have just drove the dagger deep on that 67-yard touchdown run.
He's been quiet all night long, but he carried his team to get here. In the last 4 out of 5 games, 200 yards rushing. And talk about a time to break a big play when they needed it. That's ball game. Wow!
Great job up front. Tyler White, Kyle Hedrick, Nick Sherman opening up that hole. And you saw why Story has 4 200-yard games in the last 5 weeks. He can turn it on. Extra point. Up. Good. Story, 21 carries, 154 yards. Take another look.
And I'm not sure he got touched. And watch what he does when he sees this seam right here. Look at the acceleration. He's gone right here. And there's a lot of white shirts in position. Brandon Matty's got a line on it, but Brandon Matty's never going to get there. Look at him pulling away. Taking his team, putting them on his back. We talked about a Cinderella story. Well, guess what? Cinderella story, he just put the exclamation point on it. Ball game.
Story taking it 67 yards. The Leopards had stacked the box. They knew what was coming. And all it took was one good block, one seam. And when everybody's playing up to the box, there's nobody back.
will present the 2007 Division II State Championship Trophy to the outstanding football team from Cincinnati Anderson. Tonight you deserve the right to be called state champion. Of young men, the coach and the captains, as I represent our member schools, governing board, commissioner, and staff, I'm so proud to present to you first ever football championship Division II 2007. Congratulations.
thank you for your attendance at today's ball game. The student athletes, their schools, and the Ohio High School Athletic Association appreciate